Welcome to the Seeing Way Overview, Level 2 Learning Objectives. What is the Seeing Way? Awakening through direct experience. What does that mean? The Seeing Way is the essential logic of Advaita Vedānta. Abstracted from its Vedic cultural packaging, reconstructed as an experiential Socratic dialogue, an Upaniṣadic operating system for the mind, leading inevitably to awakening or Brahman Realization. The Seeing Way is composed of several structural components, 10 Advaita learning objectives, 12 Advaita scriptural axioms, 7 typical cognitive errors, and 5 corrective Socratic moves. This is the whole system. Last time, we covered the Level 1 Upaniṣadic learning objectives: Viveka, Vairagya, Samadhi-Shatka, and Mumukshutva. This time we'll cover Level 2 Madhyamādhikari: Shravana, hearing the truth; Manana, contemplative inquiry; and Nididhyasana, assimilated seeing. Hearing the truth. Shravana means to receive the essential pointers and axioms. Let the teachings enter without resistance or premature interpretation. This is the receptive phase, taking in the axioms and direct pointers from a trustworthy source. It sets the stage for experiential inquiry. Contemplative inquiry. Manana, examine the axioms through reason and direct experience. Resolve doubts by tracing them back to their source. Doubts, confusions, and contradictions are examined against direct experience. Reason is used as a chisel to remove misunderstanding, not to build metaphysical models. Assimilated seeing. Nididhyasana means resting awareness in itself again and again. Let recognition become effortless, continuous, and intimate. Direct seeing becomes stable, immediate, and embodied. This is not meditation on an object, but resting awareness in its own nature. Namaste. So the Level 1 learning objectives, the Upaniṣadic, or the beginning stage, is basically the same thing as the Sadhana Chatushtaya that we've gone over several times in preceding series like Atma Bodha and Viveka Chudamani. These virtues, or really qualifications for the spiritual path, are preliminary to the path itself, but they're absolutely necessary to become qualified to execute the process. And if you try to jump over them, the process won't work. You have to have these 4 qualifications. Viveka, or discrimination between the self and the not self, the eternal and the temporary, the unreal and the real. And then Vairagya. Because you realize what is real versus unreal, you let go of the attachment to the unreal. Samadhi-Shatka are the 6 inner virtues recommended by Shankaracharya in his commentary on Vedanta Sutra or Brahma Sutra, and in all of his other books. And finally, Mumukshutva is the desire for liberation. If you don't have this, and it's based on the other qualifications, so if you don't have the whole package, you are not ready for the seeing path. That comes in the active phase in Level 2, Madhyamādhikari, or intermediate qualifications. And they are the classic Shravana, Manana, Nididhyasana of Vedanta. So first you have to hear about the whole process And that's what's happening in these videos. You're hearing about the structure of the seeing way, how it operates, what it's based on. Then, manana means that you sit down with a guide, or you sit down with a deck of flashcards. We're going to make a deck of seeing way flashcards you can use. And you go through the axioms and you see how to realize them in your actual experience. And then finally, nididhyasana means that you have cleared all your doubts and you can actually experience the seeing way as a dynamic way of being in your ordinary life. You don't have to go live in a cave. You don't have to go to a monastery. Right in the middle of everything, in the marketplace, by implementing this system, you can remain resting in awareness, which is the final stage of this active process. And then beyond that is the level 3, and we'll cover that next time.